recording, and we are back with some SimCity 4. Now, one of the things that people are mad about with SimCity 5 is the lack of terraforming tools. Personally, I never really did any terraforming at all. I mean, the most I would do is do something like, oh, I guess I gotta plant trees all over because trees are really good, so the more trees, the better. You zoom out all the way so you have the biggest cursor. You just paint everything with a tree because trees are good against pollution. And that's it. I mean, some people might go and make really detailed maps, but that is so not the sort of thing I'm interested in doing. So we're going to call this one EA Sucks. Yessucks. Yessucks. That's what we're going to call this town. Boom. Established city. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, so the thing is, a lot of people, when they first saw SimCity 5, was like, oh, it doesn't have as much depth. And I don't buy that. To me, it has way more depth than 4. Now, it could be because I haven't really gone and delved into it. I think a lot of people who say that play with the network add-on mod, which is what this is, that's added like all these new types of roads and things, and it's going to take me a bit to figure out how that works, so I may not mess with it right away. The big question when we're just starting out is, do we build a highway or not? You know, it's sort of future-proof against things. And I think I might do that. I might build like a sort of a T highway here, and then get some off-ramps off of that and grow. Maybe it's not worth it in this region. Just do the avenues, maybe. Which you can't upgrade. So, yeah, what the hell, let's build some highways. Build that out to just past half, maybe. How's that unsuited to build a network? I have to put down the elevated cloverleaf. But I don't actually want a cloverleaf. Do they have a T-junction? Ah, there we go. T-intersection. Boom. And it is nice that they actually have highways in 4. I mean, I'm sure that'll happen in 5 at some point. Alright, so we want a connection to the Sim Nation, and actually we probably want that here as well. So we're going to have a nice, pretty efficient city. Now, they only get really good when you have a bunch of cities interconnected. Then they're feeding each other, like residential areas and things like that. And then you don't have to worry about, you have the cities be hyper specialized, right? This is mostly going to be a starter city, so it's going to need like a little bit of everything. But it should be pretty functional. Then we'll build a handful of avenues here. Just going in sort of like a square around the T intersection. Does it automatically make my on-ramps for me? Yes. Accept. And here too. And here 3. Boom. Really? Seriously? I built one too far? There we are. It's kind of funny about this stuff. Alright, and the one thing that is funny here is that you start off with so much money in here that you can basically build your entire network of roads pretty damn early on. Can I get an avenue running this way? Yes, and I think that would be a good idea, actually. Although I just realized, like, I built this without really paying attention to how far I was going because I want to be able to zone properly. Let me extend this out here, and then we're going to put some stuff down. So, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. It's less good idea necessarily, but it's going to be fine. So let's see what we can fit in. I haven't measured everything out, but that's okay. We're going to start off with some residential, and we'll start with low density residential. We'll be upgrading all this stuff later. So here you're going to be drawing out these blocks, right? These squares. And it'll automatically put roads at appropriate intervals. But you almost don't want to like kind of zone this way in this game. There's going to be plenty of things that are going to be non-optimal in what I do here compared to the people who have been playing a lot. But there are a couple of keys that are really, really good. For example, if you hold Alt, it'll change the orientation of the plots. I don't know, can you guys see the little arrows which show you like how the plots are going to be oriented? So these plots will be facing this way and onto the, I don't know, the sort of north-south highway, and these will be facing south on the east-west highway. So that's, you can toggle that with the Alt, and then the other thing you can do is if you hold Shift, it won't auto-build any roads. And often that's what you want to do because you can get this sort of like maximum plot size and really sort of lay down exactly what you want in the most appropriate way. So what I'm going to do is I'll build residential down in this corner, I guess. Try to focus the commercial in the center, and then build industrial mostly on the other side. We don't have to worry about wind. So what I'll do is get some houses that face right onto the avenue. These guys actually won't really like the traffic too much. It's actually a downside, but it's not going to be the end of the world. And then over here, again, I'm holding both Shift and Alt here to force the right direction. I'm going to move things in that way. And then I'm going to lay down just a, I'm going to use a street. No, road is bigger than the street. And then we'll pull you off like so. No, don't do a sim connection there. So we are going to need power, of course. So I'm going to extend my avenues out this way. And yes, you can connect. You know what? Let's just go and do this. There's no way that it's going to be kind of optimal in this space, but it's not the end of the world. And then we're going to start an industrial district up here. We'll go medium density. I almost kind of want to do it the lazy way for these guys, even though it's not going to be as efficient in terms of, well, lots of things. Oh, right, the industrial, they don't have the facing. They're a little bit different. I keep forgetting that. It's been a long time since I've played much of this. You know what, screw it. Let's just do that. And then build our power plant. Let's go with coal. It's very cost effective, even though it's horribly, horribly polluting. We're going to overwrite some of the industrial like that to do that. And then, and some people also complained in 5, like, what, there's no power lines? Man, I hate laying power lines. It seems, it feels so useless to me. Actually, you know what, we'll save the power lines. We'll just run some commercial, low density commercial, right along these avenues here. There we are. We'll need, I think now, if I go up to, oh, and the hotkeys, I'm not sure what the speed hotkeys are. Let's say, the city should start to populate. Now, it won't do really well until it's got water. These guys are complaining that they can't reach a job. They don't have jobs. It's related to that. And it's everyone on that side. Did I not build this connection properly? I mean, do they want that? I didn't think so. They might just be too far. There's a limit to how far they're willing to travel to look for work. And we may have just bumped into that. There might be something else going on. In any case, let's get some water down, which will really help things considerably. And again, we have to lay pipes in this game, and I find it kind of stupid and silly. And I don't think it matters where you put the water things. But I'll put them here next to the water, because that seems to make sense. You know, there's no aquifer or anything like that. And the water pipes, like, you're not even laying down all the water pipes. You're just laying down the pipes in a sort of general area, and then presumably the local pipes get, you know, spread for you. So, you know, if there's one, oh, are you kidding me? And there's still no undo. You know, why is one level of abstraction absolutely horrible, whereas other levels of abstraction are fine? You know, these purists in these games. That's the thing. Like, I like SimCity 5 a lot, if it works, which is the problem. All right, so that's good. So let's lay down a bunch more residential areas. Now, one thing that's funny in this game is I found that you can run your city without any civil services whatsoever, except for perhaps fire, for the longest time, and it's not a problem. It's really pretty stunning to me. Power lines are used inside cities because they connect blocks, right? If I didn't have, let's say, people in the chat, like always, they get stuff wrong. Let's say I de-zone this. Watch what happens. We're going to lose power. Does it carry there? Because there was no power transfer until I built these commercial zones. There we go. See? Power does not like automatically handle inside of a zone. You need to have zoning that's like more or less adjacent. It can hop across like a couple of tiles basically, and that's it. Other than that, you need some power lines to transfer power around. So we're going to let this grow a little bit more. So there's some complaints here, but I think it's mostly not being able to find work, not being able to get things. It's a little bit long. So the network, it's called NAM, the Network Add-on Mod, I think is what it stands for. Really, really, really good mod. Makes the traffic a lot smarter, gives you a lot more road options. You can make the cars stay on the road a lot longer. I'm not sure if I have that turned on or not. What are you most looking for? Still mostly residential. So what we're going to do is we're going to, going to leave enough space for another residential block here, or a commercial block. And then we're going to drop an avenue in there. In fact, I think I'm going to get rid of this and put down avenues at some point, but we'll get there. It's not going to be able to make this intersection. So I don't want people driving around these little things. Yeah, they're saying it's no road access, and that's what I thought, but it actually does have road access, so there might be something glitchy going on with the mod, because they have road access, and then they lose it, and then they get it. Something really weird. Again, I might be missing something obvious, but we'll sort it out in a sec. Let's go ahead and build this road. I think this is going to actually be a huge traffic problem. No. Let's build some more housing. There we go. So it's actually a really bad idea to have all these intersections on the main avenue. So what am I going to do? What's the proper road structure here? Well, it's not the main avenue. I mean, we've got the highways and stuff. It's an alternative. This makes no sense. And there should be some game sound now. There still won't be much of it. I've got the, I think I've got the music mostly turned off, just because it's often an issue with getting flagged on YouTube. We might try the SimCity servers again at some point, but for now they're still just crap. And I'm just frustrated. I don't want to play like that. It's no fun. So we can put down our house. I think the mayor's house improves residential areas. And it's been a long time since I've played. You get spoiled after playing 5. All right, let's see if we can't. Why do these all break? People are cheering at my house. I don't think they're protesting this time, which is nice. It's a nice change. Let me de-zone this stuff and then see what happens. The one at the bottom is fine. Like, the one at the bottom has road access for some reason. Let's observe. You know what? I bet you it's because they don't have a way to turn around. That's probably what's happening. So let's build a road. Actually, I guess we could just do one of those right here. That did it. They don't have. They had no choice but to, or they couldn't get home. From the home, they could take a right and go into the city, and there was no way for them to actually get back. But now they can do kind of a U-turn over here and hit the rest of the block. So, aha! There we are. Okay, good. So let's keep filling up the city. I'm going to slow things down just a little here. And we're going to keep that in mind where we have to do the little turnaround at the end of our avenues. And it's fine if the avenue doesn't have a connection to the sort of greater sim world, because then it automatically has the little U-turn at the end. There we are. Again, people don't necessarily like living next to large avenues, but I think it works out well for them. I'm just going to keep filling out this little kind of neighborhood by the water. Ooh, this area is screwed up. Actually, that's not going to work here, because what I probably want to do is just continue this avenue. Like so. And we're going to go in and put in some parks and things later on. So health, education, safety, all down to the bottom. And again, we will want fire stations at some point to prevent the city from burning itself down. But it can live without it for now. Still wants more residential. I don't know why it wants so much, but it definitely does. I mean, I suppose I could go with the higher density at this point. Go up to medium. I suppose I could start building high density. They're pretty expensive, and I often find that you're better off doing it in steps. Build the core bits of your network and city first, and then kind of upgrade things. Because otherwise you blow through your budget way too fast. You do start with a lot of money. And it could just be that I'm a terrible, terrible mayor. But there you have it. There's not much of a demand for commercial, but let me go and drop down a row here anyway, just to service that. We don't want any more industrial yet, so that's curious, but... And I think what I would like to do is extend them out this way. Oh, it's not building it the right way. And we'll start moving to medium density and then retroactively go back and apply it to some other areas. Oh, and we'll need to have a U-turn capability here. There we are. So it's a very functional, but of course very boring city, because that's the sort of thing that I produce. Now you don't have curved lines in this, but you can build diagonals. So you know what, just to break things up, this quadrant here will all be based on diagonals. like so. Can you build on a diagonal? I can't remember that. That all of a sudden, maybe that, oh right. So hold on. We don't actually want that. We can have a diagonal. Oh. Okay, that was a little unintended. It will not all be based on diagonals. There will just be one diagonal just because it'll make things more interesting coming off of there. And then we'll continue having sort of vertical lines after that. So if we take this, do something like that, and then something like that. There we are. And you can see we're running into that power issue. There's no demand for commercial, but I want to put it in anyway. That way they act as power lines, because why not? I'll probably blow my budget on the fact that I'm using only avenues. But if we can survive past that stage, then we're going to be in, oops, great shape, because our traffic problems should be relatively minimal with this general idea. We'll see. I keep saying that, but... Actually, there doesn't need to be an avenue this far out anymore. We'll break out of that. Really? You can't? Oh, okay, you can do that. I shouldn't have built avenues here, actually. That was definitely a waste. Because we don't need that much traffic down here, and these, and... Yeah, in hindsight, that was really dumb. It's been a long time since I played SimCity. SimCity 4. A long, long freaking time. We'll go back to back now. So unfortunately I'm going to have to use... well, maybe not, actually. I guess I... Well, then we'll create a bunch of T-junctions and things. No, it can't connect there at all. Or can it? Oh, it can. It's kind of a screwed up intersection, but apparently it'll let me do it. And I'm not even going to bother going under the highway here. I'll probably end up having to bulldoze some of this to make a bit of a barrier. In fact, I don't think I'm going to go over this, and I probably shouldn't have built this here. I should have left the tree barriers here. I might go and replant these trees to really sort of section off the industrial area to its own little ghetto. Yeah, there's a chance that some of these intersections here will be a little stupid because there's going to be a lot of T-junctures, but these guys should be out of the main flow of the traffic, so I don't think this is going to break the game. Oh, and actually, they're not intersections across from each other. They got to do the whole stupid U-turn thing. In fact, do all these guys have to turn right? No, some of these guys can turn left, so that's okay. That intersection is weird. And could I branch off another intersection here? No. What about, like, here? Yes. Start to remind me of some of the places in Toronto. Ugh. Hate driving in big cities. Let's go back to low density here. Alright, and you know what, I shouldn't add another intersection on the main road. What I should do... Well, I mean, either way, it's kind of a made road, but I guess this already has the intersection now. So now I'll take advantage and do something like that. These people have to drive a little bit out of the way. Push comes to shove, I can connect them, or actually what might be smarter. There we go, I can connect them through there. And there we go. Let the city flow. Environment going down? Well, yeah, because there's all the pollution going on there, but it shouldn't. We should be able to recover it at some point. No safety, no health, no education. Everything is terrible. Oh, I can squeeze a little bit more low density over here. So then once the city is kind of full, that's when I add the services slowly, and then I can rezone to higher density at some point if it starts to become important. So right now the highway's not doing much for us, and part of the reason is we don't have neighboring regions. But then once we do, there should be a lot more traffic that comes in and off over there. So what we can do is replace some of the commercial areas here with services like schools and hospitals and fire, because I don't want anything to burn down. And then the big question starts to be, well, what size you use? And I think I can probably get away with just the single big fire station like right here. It doesn't quite cover everything, but it covers most of it, so there might be fires on the corner. I guess what I could do is something like this and then build a second one, but I think this will be okay. The fire trucks will still respond to the edges. It's just more likely that a fire will actually start there. In fact, the big problem right now is I actually don't have enough people, so the maintenance on these is going to be the biggest problem. But that'll start resolving itself. There we go. Right away, as soon as there's a fire truck, we got a fire. Now, they'll respond eventually, but I think we can make them come faster if we click on them. Oh, there's a little residential zone back here that can't actually touch anything. Everyone else can reach everything. Yeah, looks good. Well, it doesn't look good, not yet, but soon. So let's go ahead and we're going to build a small medical clinic. Actually, we'll have to build two, or one big hospital. The thing is, the hospital has bigger reach, but it's also much, much more expensive. It can also do more patients, but we don't have that many patients. Yeah, it'll easily cover the entire map. I think for the medical stuff, it'll be better to build a handful of clinics. We can build one there, and then one here, and technically not everyone is covered, but most people are covered. Did I build the school? I think I did, didn't I? I hate that you can't just mouse over things. You gotta go to the question mark. You know, right, because I was looking at the different sizes of things. Yeah. So elementary schools educate young Sims, and high schools are for teen Sims. So it says that's the same, and I think it actually does work as advertised. I'm not sure, but I think so. So I think we're going to do the same thing. We're going to build... It's going to let us... Oh, we've unlocked the big schools if we want. The large elementary school. So it can fit a lot more people in. It's got a much larger radius. So again, we can plop one of these down and cover the whole city, but it costs as much as 5 of the regular sized ones. So I think that we're just not going to have enough students to really make it worthwhile. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then fit that in there, and again, we're going to cover most of the region. How's our budget doing overall? We're slightly losing money. So we're probably going to want to hold back. I suppose we could put down a cop station too. And, you know, we may overblow our budget, but we've got a lot of money left over. So we could knock down 4 small ones. One big one won't truly cover everything. There'll still be little crappy spots. Oh, the police stations are really cheap. Covers most of it. And I suppose we could stick a little police kiosk in the other corners. If it starts to become a huge problem. We'll build a church in a residential area somewhere over here. I believe they like that. Yeah, we can get stats on our traffic with this thing. Get actual numbers of things that are going by. Now, unlike in SimCity 5, the vehicles here are not sort of real vehicles. They're just kind of representative of what's going on with the traffic. I mean, they semi-simulate things that are going on, but again, they're not real traffic. So that's why they'll fade in and fade out all the time. They'll travel for a certain amount of distance and then stop. There's actually quite a lot of traffic here, which I guess I shouldn't be surprised at. There's a lot of like human population being funneled down this one avenue. I'm almost wondering about, like, I don't know, breaking some of this, forcing more people into the highways, but that's just going to cause bottlenecks at the on-ramps and off-ramps anyway. Grave need. Yeah, we'll put down a cemetery over here. Right here in the corner of the map, so the smell of the rotting bodies goes off the screen. So, as I recall, some of this is medium density zones, but you can see, like, they haven't upgraded their density at all. So, to do that, we just need to make, well, everything better. Ratings are going up. Environment is definitely crap, but everything else is going up over time. And it is a slow over time thing. We sort of have to wait. I guess I could put it on cheetah speed, since cheetah speed works on this because it's offline mode and no one cares. It's okay, I'm not bitter. We could use more industry, but I'm a little worried about polluting things. Now, the right thing to do is to start a neighboring town, stick all the polluting industry in there, and then... There we go, another fire. It's because these guys are slightly out of reach. Dispatch our trucks and then send them off there. Yeah, how's the water situation? That's a good question. Yeah, we're only using 18% of our total capacity, so we're fine. Same with power. I mean, we'll get some pretty noticeable warnings when that comes up. So, how's the environment doing? Air pollution? Yeah, and it's creeping. It's encroaching. Water pollution, very bad. But hey, we need those jobs. Again, if we increase our educational value, then, because right now this is all dirty industry. If we mouse over it, it's all industry-dirty. Zone more for residents. Yeah, we'll be switching to higher density. Well, we've got some high density. One should be pretty happy. Their population's still going up? Alright, so I'm going to have to build a small fire station somewhere up here. I don't even know where the fire is. Just because it's not covered. I think we can also increase the funding, which might increase the radius. Just barely. Maps, that's what I want. Fire hazard. Yeah, it doesn't quite get the extreme edge, but other than that, it's got the whole zone. So hopefully that'll cut down the number of fires being done. Water pipes. Oh, we need water pipes. We're not fully covered. That's right. We had plenty of water. We just don't have the water pipes. And part of the reason we probably have so much water is because there's so few people using it. We need it right around here, I think. And then... yeah, I figured that would miss. Let's connect to our neighbors, though, for later. Hey, we got a statue. And trash! Yes, trash. We'll build a statue in the commercial area right around there. Oops. This map... yes, piss off with the pop-ups. Oops, that's not quite optimal, but... ah! I gotta count out tiles next time. I think that's fine, because yeah, we don't have anything that goes quite to the edge. I don't know, maybe I should just build another fire station over here. Even then, the small one, like I gotta plop it like right in there to cover that area. It's probably a worthwhile investment. It's a lot of fires. And then I can turn down the housing. In fact, because I'm spending like an extra $100 a month, or the funding, not the housing. I'm spending like an extra $100 a month on this thing. There we go. It's only 125 to put that down, and I think it'll come out a win. I don't like the fire pop-ups, so what the hell? Why are the maps so small compared to SC2000? I mean, I am playing on one of the smaller maps right now, just to get it started. Okay, so, yeah, traffic is really bad. Apparently my layout, not so functional. Well, I don't have any mass transit yet, right? That's going to be part of the problem. Need people complaining about. You don't have a job? Really? Long commute. That's probably part of the problem. Suppose we could go and build some subways or something. Since, you know, we can do that in this game. Tram on street. They've got all the streetcar additions. It's very cute. Subway station. Industry needs more room. Yeah. I suppose we should do the subway thing. So we can do it on the four corners here, and then expand outwards from that to cover the industrial area properly. And then buses on top of this. No, we can't look at the poop in this game, unfortunately. It is definitely a shortfall. I can't change direction. I want it there. Boom, subways. It's not very good coverage. It won't actually show me the coverage. I don't even know like how far it covers. We do have to expand our support though, just a little bit more. And then one right in the middle of the industrial area. And we'll hope that covers well.